Hello, kids. Merlin here, just an old man going to some K-pop concerts this year. I'm going to review IU's concert. I'll take about 10 minutes. I'll keep it short, but there's a little bit of, interesting stuff at the end if you can last that long. I bought a shirt again, got a light stick. Allstate Arena in Rosemont. It's near Chicago. It's Chicago, basically. But they had little gifts on the chairs. I had 2 seats, so I got 2 of them. They made sure to point out you can only have one, but I had 2 seats. There's like magnets and picture cards in there. From my seat, you can see the railing. Cool. Because I'm interested in this kind of thing, I got a picture of the light boards, the sound boards and stuff. The pit was right down in front of me. And there were like a million computers there. They had a live band. And so whatever backing vocal tracks, because you could hear her singing, and then you could also hear that she had a backing track, a vocal backing track, but that was lined up with the music, the live band. So there was somebody mixing that, which is sort of an interesting, challenging situation. In front of the stage, I thought it was cool. There's quite an array of cannons that shoot out all sorts of paper and stuff. At one point, there was a bunch of the confetti up on the concert. It was near the end, and these guys came out with leaf blowers and blew off the stage so that nobody would be slipping when they danced the last few numbers. You can see the live band up there in front of the screen. We started with Halsey, and these are the kids like the dancers in her video. I don't know if it's the same ones, maybe. I don't know how that works. But, so she started with Halsey, and there was issues with the sound, okay? It wasn't like it was horrible sound, but her level was inconsistent throughout the night. The challenge of mixing the music and her vocals in this stadium, I don't know. It was just a little bit uneven, but that's okay. I mean, it's a concert. And they had a couple of cameramen running around the stage for different numbers, and occasionally they would be in the back of the stage shooting out at the audience over them, over the performers at the audience, which I thought was pretty good. You get some interesting angles that way. And then of course it's just like here, it's displayed up on the back and you can see yourself if you know where to look. IU ended up speaking English most of the night. I know that she speaks languages when she goes to different concerts, different countries, and she ended up speaking English here, used the translator maybe 10% of the time. She was off script at times, so it was clear that, she knows what she's saying. And she talked specifically about this town. It's Rosemont. It's not Chicago, but it's in Chicago. It's a suburb. So she mentioned, if you can see, her clothing she was wearing like rose patterned dress, and then she had some other rose pattern thing, and then she brought out some flowers at one point and she gave them to someone in the audience, and she had a white dress later on with a big white rose on it, a big white bow rose in the front, and she'd wear a rose in her hair. She was going big on the rose, on Rosemont, and everyone loved it, of course.
Like a place where roses are blooming everywhere.
Yeah.
Guess what? I prepare for this city. Do you see the roses all over?
Yeah, so the roses were sort of a thing all night. So she ends the first set with Obliviate, okay? A lot of things from the current album in the first set. The second set actually starts with a bit of theater. She uses this one of her young dancers to come out and sort of do a lost in the woods, lost as she's growing up situation, really, because she's in this foggy stage. She ends up, climbing up onto the elevated part. She jumps down into the hole, and then when IU comes out herself, we see the two of them interacting, and then she goes into celebrity. Okay. Now again, see, here's the camera guy that she's interacting with on the stage. You can see up there, the camera's looking out at the audience, which is kind of cool. And Blooming and all of her big songs, she didn't do a lot of the old sort of the Disney-esque songs that that I talked about in my preview of the concert. It was a lot more of the current stuff, which I thought was good. Current to 5-6 years old, which was good for me. I enjoyed that. So when she comes out for the third set, she has these flowers that she hands out to somebody in the audience. After she does coin, she ends up with a coin in her hand. She hands that out to someone in the audience. I didn't get either of them. But what I did get was one of these. Of course, these little banners that they use, at concerts all the time. This one particularly says the City of Wind, which, it's the Windy City is what they're getting at, specific for the Chicago concert. And I'm assuming they do that for all the concerts. They actually, of course, have you hold them up during the photos. So when she takes the pictures on this side of the arena, when you look right up here, this red, these are exit signs, exit sign, exit sign. Above this exit sign, there's that banner right there, little rectangle, and the guy is waving it. That's me. So at the end of the set, she would say, so this is the last song of the night, but not really. Of course, there's an encore. Just give me some time to redo my hair and makeup. Okay, so don't call for an encore right away. And then she left. Yeah. And then she came back out and she said, that was perfect. Nobody called. We just waited. At the end of that set, she said, so this is the last song, unofficially. But actually call me this time so I can, so it sounds like you want me. So, and then she came back out. And then in the end, there was another, so she had, her multiple encores. She did her sort of favorite ending songs. Her final encore set was requests. She said, what do you want me to sing? And so she did 5 requests from the audience. She has a handful that she's going to do, but she, let them choose some of them. That was kind of cool. Since she had the live band, she introduced the band members at one point, which was kind of cool. When she was all done, she said goodbye and she headed out. And the lights popped up and they started shredding that stage immediately. Now it's for the after party stuff that I promised you. Now, nobody that's watching this needs to be introduced to IU's official, her YouTube page. But, okay, that's where I'm at. And one of her things that she does, one of her content bits, she does the palette show. Now, 10 days ago, she put up a new palette, and she happened to have as a guest Cho Jong-suk. And Cho Jong-suk is an actor that she worked with in one of her big dramas. The Best Yi Sun-shin, or You're the Best, is I think what it's called in the U.S. Now, I happen to be watching that K-drama right now. I'm 2/3 of the way through it. Saw on Palette that Cho Jong-suk is on here, so I came to watch it. Now, that's just sort of a quirky coincidence. What's interesting is this. Cho is a singer, at least part time. Some, he does soundtracks and covers. Okay. And when they talked about music, she mentioned her album, and they were talking about Love Wins All. And apparently, Cho sent her a big long text about what he thought of the music. And of course, the composer is right here in her palette band. And so there's comments back and forth about the song. And then, of course, on palette, they sing. So IU sang a couple of songs that Cho had covered from some work that he had done. And so Cho Jung Suk covers Love Wins All. And this is the first, I don't know who else may have covered it in the past, but this is the first one that I had seen, especially a guy singing it. And he sings it very well. You can go and watch Palette. But in my particular case here, it was a pretty strange coincidence that the 10-year-old, 11-year-old K drama that I'm watching is the one with these two in it. And he comes and sings the song that I heard her sing just the other night in Chicago. Um, I just thought it was a cool thing. So you should go. I'll have links in the description to go to Palette and hear Love Wins All covered by one of her friends. Now, it wasn't as good as IU's at the concert, of course, but what do I know? I'm just an old man. So there's my review of the concert. Um, Thanks for listening.